All right, shalom, shalom. All right, before I get started, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makah, Kodash. All right, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone and Real Well, and shalom, Wakasala, Habakyar, which is peace and mercy to the elect throughout the four corners, wherever you may be. I'm the brother Amar from the branch of GMS Cleveland, coming back at you with another video. Lord willing to be edifying. You gotta excuse me, man. You know, I'm getting over getting over a cold. So if you hear me in the background, blowing my nose, but I'm just letting you know what it is. Man, it's Genesis. I just want to speak on it real quick. So I just want to get into this lesson, man. Just speaking about the what's the opposite word of progression? I guess degress. The like how let me look at that word. Opposite of I want to make sure I use the right wording. Progression. Man, give me a moment, man. Yeah, I guess regression. Yep. So let's look at regression real quick, man. The act of going back to a previous place or state. Return or reversion. I don't know if that's the right word to use, man, but let's see. Well, yeah, no. Well, here we go. Yeah, according to this definition, this is a better definition. So, I like bringing out this point when you go to Genesis the 47th chapter, which I'm about to get at. I just wanted to get, build up, want to build up towards, what I'm about to speak on. So when you look up the word, the opposite word of progression is regression, right? So when you look up regression, it says the act or an instant of regressing, a trend or shift toward a lower or less perfect state. Such as, and then it says progression, decline of a manifestation of disease. So you look at us, man, we're declining, all right? Meaning, we look at our forefathers, man, and the state that they were in a much better state, like not just mentally and spiritually, but physically as well. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at us now, not just Jake, but just humans in general. But like I said, especially our people. Jake tends to die young, you know what I'm saying? And there's reasons behind that, man. So I just want to get into this lesson speaking about that, the reason why you see Jake dying young. Matter of fact, let me do this. Let me type this in. Average age for black men to live. 72 years, man. And this is cold, man. So this is my first time actually even looking this up, man. And this even goes just back up the scriptures, man. They show you, man, the scriptures is true, man. They real. And everything that we speak about is the scriptures. What we see today in life as we experiencing it, as we live, the scriptures, it backs it up, and vice versa, man. It backs up the scriptures, man. So it says the average life expectancy for black men in the United States is around 72 years. It says this is lower than the average life expectancy for white men and black women. It is a figure that's been impacted by factors like healthcare access, socioeconomic status, and prevalent health conditions, man. You go down, it says lower than other groups. Life expectancy for black men is generally lower than that of white men and black women. Factors, and I already went through the factors, but it says factors at play: socioeconomic status, access to health care, and the prevalence of certain health conditions such as heart disease, diabetes, and hypertension all contribute to this this partially. All right, so I just that's crazy, man. Let me look at. I'm just curious, man. And I'm gonna get these scriptures. Let me look at black women. So this is a little longer. All right. It says in the United States, the average life expectancy for black women is around 76, whereas Jake is 72. So let me get this, man. Let me see which one should I start off with. This is because we're in hell. All right, and our forefathers and just people in general in the ancient world live way longer. But this is a scripture I like to bring out a lot to highlight that point that men and women lived to be much older. So this is when you read the backdrop of it, this is when Joseph's brethren, the 12 patriarchs, and they were seeking help or refuge, if you will, and they came to Pharaoh and their brother Joseph. And then when you read further down about the corn and all that, but anyway, let me get to the main point. So let me start from verse 4. You know what, man? I'll just start it from the top, man. Nah, it's lucky. Let me just get to the point, man, because I'll be here all day. So this is Genesis 47 and verse 5. It says, and Pharaoh spake unto Joseph, saying, Thy father and thy brethren are come unto thee. Verse 6, it says, The land of Egypt is before thee, and the best of the land make thy father and brethren to dwell. And the land of Goshen, let them dwell. And if thou knowest any man of activity among them, then make them rulers over my cattle. And Joseph brought in Jacob his father and set him before Pharaoh. Now, when you look this up as well, because I did this actually recently, it doesn't say which Pharaoh this is per se. Some scholars say it is by the Pharaoh by the name of if I'm saying it right, Imenanak the third. All right, if I'm saying that correctly, if you look it up, but they say that they're not for certain. So I just wanted to throw that out there as well. So it says, verse 8. It says, and Pharaoh said unto Jacob, How old art thou? And Pharaoh was questioning. He was curious, all right, about how old Jacob was, right? So let's see what Jacob said. It says, verse 9, Jacob said unto Pharaoh, The days of the years of my pilgrimage is traveling, you know what I'm saying? And it says, are 130 years. It says, few and evil have the days of the years of my life been, and have not attained unto the days of the years of the life of my fathers and the days of their pilgrimage. So Pharaoh was wooed off the age. What I mean by wooed, all right, it's slang for what brothers use in Chicago. That's where we got the term from. But wooed meaning they were in awe, they were amazed, they were surprised. That's what the word wooed means. So Pharaoh was wooed, or he was surprised, or in awe at the age of Jacob, of how old he was, man. Because he probably, damn, man, you don't look it. You don't look that old, and then on top of that, not only does Jake not look their age, but he's probably surprised how old he was at that matter as well. Like, damn, you're 130 years. And we just read, according to today's statistics, the average so-called black man or woman lives to be about 72 and 76, 72 years old and 76 years old, give or take. Obviously it can be a little longer than that, and I'm gonna get that scripture as well. So let me get this real quick, man. Let me get Genesis 47, and let me get this in the NLT. Give you a little more clarity on this. So when you go down, go back up to Genesis 47, verse 8 and verse 9. This is in the NLT. It says, how old are you? Pharaoh asked him. Jacob replied, I have traveled this earth for 130 hard years, but my life has been short compared to the lives of my ancestors, man. So Jacob, he was even like, bro, if you surprised at my age, the age of my foreparents, I mean, my fathers and my ancestors, my forefathers, I pale in comparison. And you know what I'm saying? It's nothing. The age I'm at is nothing compared to how old my forefathers was, man. And that's how it is now, man. You look at Jake now. You know, average lifespan is 70 years old, 75, 70, 80 years old. That's not shit compared to, our forefathers, man. But then on top of that, man, in the kingdom of heaven, see, we're not gonna have to worry about age. You know what I'm saying? Or aging. You know, we'll just be. We'll live. We'll live. We'll have immortality. All right. We'll live to be forever. We won't have to worry about dying, man. All right. The Lord. That was one of the things the Lord promised us, man. Immortality. We will be joined unto that, man. We won't have to be going to, a brother or sister funeral in the kingdom. Can you imagine that? No, man. All right. But let me get this real quick. This is the book of Psalms. Where is that at? I believe it's in this chapter. Let's see. I think it's Psalms 90. No, 90. Yep. Let me see. Yep, this is Psalms chapter 90, verse 10. It says, the days of our years are 70 and 10. When you look up a score, all right, it's 20 years. So if it's 3, that's 60. All right, so you got 3 scoring. All right, like I said, scores it's 20. So if it's 3, that's 20, 48. That's 20, 40, 60. And then you add 10 years on top of that. That makes it 70. So it says the days of our years are 70 years, and if by reason of strength, right? So if you just so happen to make it past that, if you have a healthy body, if you're working out and eating right, that's why I said, and if by reason of strength they be 80 years, which is 80, yet is their strength labor and sorrow, for it is soon cut off, and we fly away, man. So if you make it past that age, which that said age, where I looked it up according to the statistics, you gonna live a hard life, man. Your strength is gonna be gone. That vigor, all right. Just that overall, like, youth, and like I said, just strength is gonna be subsided. You're not gonna be how you once were when you were young. But then again, see, like I said, all this, man. When you look at the scriptures, it's just like it's just a state of death that we're living in, man. Because I'm gonna show you this real quick, man. Our forefathers, I'm giving you some history, man, about how the power of the Lord, man, and how the ancient world was, and man, just how we were on another level, man. So I just read that scripture, right? So when you go to Joshua, right? Let me see. This is the book of Joshua 14, and I'll start at 9. And Moses swore on that day, saying, surely the land whereon thy feet have trodden shall be thine inheritance and thy children forever. And it says, because thou hast wholly followed the Lord my God. And now behold, the Lord hath kept me alive, as he said, these 45 years. All right. It says, even since the Lord spake this word unto Moses, while the children of Israel wandered in the wilderness, and now lo, I am this day 65 years old. So this is showing you, like I said, this is showing you like I said, the state in which our foreparents were in, man. So 80. It says, and now lo, I am this day 65 years old. So he's 85, man. It's Caleb, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I believe it's Caleb. You know what I'm saying? It says, as yet I am as strong this day as I was in the day that Moses sent me. Yeah, kind of like, yeah, I had a brain for it. Yeah, this is Caleb. Yeah, so it says, verse 11, yet It says, as yet I am as strong this day as I was in the day that Moses sent me, as my strength was then, even so is my strength now for war, both to go out and to come in, man. So it showed you, man, that our forefathers are on a different level, man. Caleb was 85 years old, man. And he said, verse 11, yet, it says, as yet I am as strong this day as I was in the day that Moses sent me, man. You know, as my strength was then, even so is my strength now for war, both to go out and to go in, man. So that show you, man, just the level we were on, man. We wouldn't, you know, you see an old person now, man, they in their 70s and 80s, they're feeble, weak, bones are, not dense and not as healthy and strong. They have all these health conditions, man. It's not gonna be like that in the kingdom, man. Or, you know, even when we get so called older, all right, you know, we're not gonna be because you're still gonna have age. You know what I'm saying? Like a baby's gonna grow up to be, you have a newborn and then a toddler, then a young man. I mean, a young boy, a girl, and then they're gonna grow up to be young men and women. You're still gonna have aging. It's just not gonna be like this. All right. Like I said, we won't die neither. You just be aging. You'll just be forever young, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? But I said you brought out them scriptures, man, to show you that this current setup that we're living in is surrounded by death, man. And the reason why we die is because of sin. Because what the Lord, this curse that the Lord has put us in, and these chains of darkness, is really the chains of darkness is going into these bodies, all right? The bodies that the Lord has placed us in. Our souls are trapped in these chains of darkness. Now you look at a chain. A chain is something that's connected to something, all right? So our soul has been connected to this prison, which is death, all right, because it's susceptible to decay. So this is let me get that scripture to link with that it's a link with that Psalms 90. So let me start from here, man. Sirach 18, and let's get to the point. It says the number of a man's days at the most are 100 years. So this is at the shit damn near at the most you get on this side, man. Every rare occasion you might have a man that lives over 100, but for the very most it's 100 years. All right, on this side in this current setup that we're in. But I just read, according to some history, that our forefather Joseph, you know, Jacob, he was 130. You know what I'm saying? When Pharaoh met him, and I believe he died at 147 years old. So even with Moses, let me see. So the Moses age, Moses died at 100 or something, if I'm mistaken. What is that? I know it's either gotta be 32 there, 32 or 33. I might just look it up there. It's like it, man. I'm trying to get in the habit of not always, like cheating my way into finding scriptures. That's how I look at it sometimes, man. You know, but damn, man. Look at the age of Moses, man. Let me just type it in, man. How old? I thought I was 100. How old was Moses? Yep. Yeah, so it says 100, 120. So I was in the right chapter. I just overlooked it. Man, bro, we through, man. Like I said, forgive me, man. Like I'm just a little under the weather. Mine not all the way there. This is Deuteronomy 34 and 7. And Moses was 120 years old when he died. His eye was not dim, nor his natural force abated, man. So once again, man, it shows you the power of the Lord and the way the ancient world was, man. They had it more figured out than now, man. Man was living 100 plus years easily, you know, dying in their natural strength, man. So I remember my brother Kamafi, he was telling me I think he said something about that last week. He was saying, really, I'm going off when I say these, when I say, when I talk about being old, how people die when they old and have no strength and all that. He's actually right, because I'm showing you scriptures that if you do the body right, you can live and still be physically strong and everything. You just won't be as strong as you was when you're in your youth, but you still have that, that natural energy and vigor to you. They have videos of people in other countries to this very day over there in Brazil and China and other areas of the earth. It's not as polluted as Babylon, where the men are in their 80s and 90s and late 70s, and they're physically fit. They got they muscle toned. They got abs, the whole 9 yards, man. It's just in America, man. This place is designed to destroy you, man. So you do something called premature aging, But let me get these last few scriptures, man. This is Proverbs 3:1. It says, "My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments." And he's going to tell you the reason why. It says, "For length of days and long life and peace, and shall they add to thee." And this is literal. I just read a few scriptures. Moses, 120 years. Jacob, 147 years old when he died. And then even Caleb, he was 85 years old. He's still in there, all in his strength. It says, "Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck, write them upon the table of thy heart," man. Because when you trust in the Lord and you play out the Lord's will on earth, it does benefit in every way, not just eating wise, but just health in general, life. You know. But there's a few more scriptures I had, man. I'm gonna end it on that. I could have went to 2 Judges 14th chapter and the 5th chapter, because it tells you about that as well. But I'm gonna end it on that. With that, I'm gonna say shalom, man.